And what is good, everybody? So, welcome to episode 15 of the Phillies Top Podcast. Good Lord. It's been a hot minute since we've done an episode. So, but this
Yeah,
time
we haven't.
it's going
I
to be a
think
little
we,
bit.
we haven't done an episode since the early middle of the season.
Yeah. But other than that, though, um, yeah, let's go. We got to, kind of talk about some few things on hand before we kind of talk about, the World Series matchup, starting on Friday, which, Phillies fans, the day has finally come. Tomorrow, 24 hours from now.
24 hours from now, you will get to witness your first World Series since 2009. Crazy.
Yeah.
I
So
was 11. I'm now 24. Crazy.
What up, Randy? Absolutely. Yeah, so that's a whole different thing entirely.
Hold on. Let me read that comment. I got it. I would love to join the NFL trade deadline with you.
Yeah, November 1st.
Yeah, in the future we'll do that. But
well, that's coming up very soon.
Yeah, very soon. You'll get your chance to be on here. But back to the Phillies.
Wow. First of all, I want to try to
I didn't expect this team to get this far.
Not. It really had. It's been the crazy.
And it's so crazy.
We just overachieved so much.
Yeah. So what's the first thing you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, I want to kind of show, for those who are the new fans of the show, kind of do like a little bit of a recap, which I don't think we have done, but we kind of talked about. But overall, though, for those who have not seen like the Philly season so far through the first 162 games, but the first 61 of one of those, we struggled out right out of the gate. And,
we went 22-29 to start off the season.
Like 11 and a half games out of the division. I think
almost 11 and a half games out of the wild.
Almost 10 and a half
games out of the division. 10 and a half out of the wild card. No, 10 and a half out of the division. Like 6-7 games out of the wild card.
Yeah, it looked very bleak.
We looked like we were DOA early in the season, and then we fired Joe Girardi.
And then and then a lot of the others. Like June 3rd, early June 3rd to be exact.
It was June 3rd. It was June 3rd of this year. We appoint Rob Thompson as interim manager. That lit a fire under us for the next 2-3 months.
Yeah,
and we went 60-something and 40-something under Rob Thompson.
65 and 46 in his first 111 games.
65 and 46. And then we kind of struggled late in the season. Like usual, we were thinking we were going to collapse again. Like, oh no, here it is.
Oh yeah,
we started winning again, and then we got to the Astros series. The first game counted. The last two, when they won,
we just really didn't give a fuck.
It was a tune-up game. Really didn't matter. It was basically preseason at the end of the season. But we clinched the game 3-0. Get to the wild card. Got to the wild card. What had happened was won the first game. It was a little bit of a struggle.
It was just a great pitcher's duel.
It was a great pitcher's duel, but we won 2-0 in that game. In the second game, we completely tore the roof off the place, beat them pretty decisively. And then we go to the Atlanta series. We take game 1 pretty handily. Then they blank us 3-0 second game. And me and Rob were thinking, oh no, here it is.
And
we come back win the next 3. Go ahead. The door's open for you. Oh my, this dog.
No, that's yeah, we'll talk. We'll discuss that on a separate thing. But but before with old Tyler getting his attention caught up.
Sorry, the dog just like she was like hanging out the door. Oh no, the door is wide open for her. All she has to do is nudge her head to the right. She nudges her head to the left, shuts the door. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And
I had to open the door, And then she walks out. She stops midway from inside my door to outside. She's on like near the threshold.
And the way that I see this,
I literally have to just nudge her with my door to get her out the door. But it's fine.
but like so far, I mean, look, if you really think about it too, I've seen a lot of bigger baseball content creators kind of mostly everybody write us off against the Cardinals. But like Tyler said,
here's the thing: we were writing us off against the Cardinals. We were writing us off because we did not play well late in that season.
No,
we were struggling, and we were heavily reliant on the Milwaukee Brewers to lose out because we were losing.
Yeah, but you really think about it, to go into that Cardinals series, knowing what the Cardinals have. Look, they're a good team, but the bullpen failed them. Which
I've
seen a few games from the Cardinals. Now I haven't because we can't watch them where we are at because we're not local around the St. Louis area.
Yeah,
but
we're not in St. Louis.
I've seen the scores, and some of the times their bullpen just collapsed, and they're just.
Yeah, it was shocking to me that they were a division leader. We're not a division leader. They were a good team.
They were like not that far out of. I think not even about a game out of first place. Not even a game and a half.
They were a game and a half out of first place. But usually when you have a bad bullpen, you
tend to struggle. But for some reason,
you tend to struggle late in the season. That's the thing, and that's what happened to us. We tended to struggle late in the season. That's why we had those playoff misses last year, year before that, year before that, year before that. Like we were missing the playoffs because of bad bullpen.
And the fact that knowing that the Brewers just completely suck ass. I mean, and that's the reason why the Cardinals took over that NL Central division, which is not one of the best divisions in baseball. Well, unless you're the AL Central, but the Central overall, both the American League and the National League, have not been the best. But shout out to Mitch Coffey coming up. Shout out to Jamar Games coming up. We appreciate the love, especially.
Yeah, let's go Philly, win the World Series. I believe no. We're kind of. I'm on. Here's the thing. I'm believing in Philly. But then there's like this sneaking suspicion, like the Astros are going to take it.
Yeah.
Like I have this weird sneaking suspicion. I had that last series too. I'm thinking, oh no, the Padres look scrappy. They might take it. I said the same thing with Atlanta. Oh no, Atlanta looks like they're going to take it. Like there's like this sneaking suspicion that the Astros are winning the series. But I want to believe in Philly.
Well, the fact that even you also think going back to the start with Nola, I've sold like one number, like the Astros are 9-12 at home at I think towards the end of the year. But I feel like with Nola getting the game one start because it looks like Thompson's going to get these guys on their on the regular rest. So we're going to have Nola for Friday. Saturday's probably going to be Wheeler. So what I would expect Nola and Wheeler is try to go at least 7-8 innings. Try to because. We've seen that Nola and Wheeler can beat these Houston bats. Now, I mean, who's to say? I mean, we have some. I mean, look. I mean, Bregman's been red hot. Jordan's been, I wouldn't say red hot, but kind of been lukewarm. I would say. But Gurriel, as old as he is, has been red hot. I mean, the guys. I mean,
the players that scare me are Alvarez, Gurriel, and Bregman. Those three scare me.
And yeah, I mean, Ballcast Source broke it down. I mean, they have really good numbers. But with Nola and Wheeler, even though it's short sample size, some of those Jordan, he actually struggled against Nola if you really looked at it. Mm-hmm. But then again, he didn't really give a. I don't know. Like it's weird going back to the game one of that final of game number 160. It's just like. Yeah, and that's a very good point too, because the AL West has not been always been the front row. That division has not been the best in terms of. Well, I mean, the only second best team to them is the Mariners in terms of talent wise, but that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Mariners just came along this year. Past years, they have not come along at all. It was just the Astros, and then everybody else sucked. That was the thing. Now it's like a two-headed monster between the Astros and the Mariners in that division.
That was.
Now it is. Now it is. Back then it wasn't. It was just the Astros.
I think it's just going to be like that for years to come because we know. Could be because you could make the argument for the Rangers, but the Rangers they got a lot of money to spend this offseason. Angels, they can be right now, as we say, is the bottom. There's the pretty much the bottom dweller, I would say, or the bottom feeder,
Right.
for lack of a better term. But looking at what the Phillies have done, yes, I mean, even though we had to make some subtractions, that has held this team back. Getting rid of a guy like I said, Girardi, Familia, Odubel, Mickey Moniak, and for some reason, and we won a lot of games without those guys. And the fact that even at the trade deadline, and Dombrowski, look, give him where credit is due. Took on chances, guys. That some of these teams, like took a chance on Syndergaard, took a chance on Brandon Marsh. Like I don't know how many times we keep saying that Brandon Marsh is.
The thing is, that's what Philly GMs in the past, for the past decade, failed to do. They failed to take a chance on players.
And shit, even Mundo Sosa has been very valuable.
Hold on. Here's my explanation about this. Look at Ruben Amaro. He was over reliant on past their prime stars. And then Clentak did not take a chance on the bullpen. He did not try to fix the bullpen. McPhail failed at his job.
Ugh, God.
Now we've got Dombrowski taking a chance on players, making good moves, getting us to the playoffs. Not only did he get us to the playoffs, he got us to the World Series 2 years into his tenure. 2 years.
Yeah.
And our first year back into the playoffs, we're in the World Series.
Yeah, and Rob Thompson's first year as an interim, technically full-time manager now, since they did sign him to a 2-year extension and remove the interim tag. So it really does show that this organization has tremendous faith in Rob Thompson, and we said this too. We do want
not only does the team have faith in this manager, we do. The entire fan base does,
and the front office too, which is
the front office.
When's the last time the front office When's the last time a front office has been has a lot of faith in the manager? It's been a while. It's been a while. I would say that much. I mean,
but here's the thing. They do have a lot of faith in managers. They had a lot of faith in Kapler, and he was terrible.
It was terrible, but it wasn't the best decision. But I mean,
I wouldn't say he was the worst manager we had in that whole thing.
It just didn't seem to fit.
It just didn't fit us. But here's where the problem lies. They did have trust in managers, but they had trust in the wrong ones. Now they have trust in the right one.
Because it's
someone the fans finally trust.
And the fact that
we tried to trust Girardi, we tried to trust Kapler, we tried to trust McCannon, we tried to trust Sandberg. None of them panned out. This guy, we didn't know what to expect from Rob Thompson.
And that's another thing too I want to kind of talk about too. The Phillies are better with clutch numbers than the Houston Astros when it comes to clutch.
They are.
But home run, because the Astros can tie us with the power department, but when it comes to running to scoring position, we have a higher average with runners in scoring position in the postseason than the Houston Astros.
And that's the ironic part, because they were good in runners in scoring position, and we were bad all year in runners in scoring position. And it still goes
to show that the regular season doesn't mean absolute shit.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Because these predictions that these people were making, and the predictions that we made, which were along the same lines, we're not getting out of the wild card. We were basing that off of what happened in the regular season.
Because, I mean, you really think about it, because they really didn't pay attention to the moves that we made. Remember when we got Marsh, Syndergaard, and Mundo Sosa.
Hold on. It's not the moves that they made, Rob. Right? We're talking about what happened later in the season. How we were treading water.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't winning with these pieces. And that's the point I'm trying to make. They're looking at how the season went, how the end of the season went, and they're thinking this team doesn't have a fat chance of even winning a playoff game, let alone winning a series. And we thought the same thing. We're getting swept out of St. Louis.
Because, I mean, this roster, because at first, this team was not a postseason, didn't look like a world postseason roster to begin with. But the fact that
This team looked like a travesty with a 22-29 record. Early, like before the season, on paper, they look like a World Series contender.
So yeah, I mean,
And honestly, now
we seen
I'm
that come to fruition. Apparently,
it's come to fruition. The problem was that they didn't have a manager. Now they
that
do, and now they're
and
playing like a World Series contender.
and
And
and think about this too. When we brought Kevin Long along, when Kevin Long came in, or obviously during when Gerard, came in under Rod Thompson, has been the offense has been a lot better than what
look at
we
the track record. Look at his track record. 2018 got the Red Sox to the World Series. Got the Nationals to the World Series. He's getting us to the World Series. Kevin Long is a good hitting coach.
shit. I feel like he's an underrated one. The fact that he made, good lord, I think we can say this too. I think Kyle Schwarber's home run has still not landed in Petco Park. Holy crap!
Now I have to agree with Jay here. You're gonna have to strike first and strike often,
Mm-hmm.
and excuse me, and break their spirits early because
Absolutely.
this Astros team, made it here numerous times because of how scrappy they are, how great they are offensively. That pitching staff is really good. Um,
They had a good bullpen too.
the
They got
only
everything.
yeah, the only thing that will give us a chance if Verlander pitches like he pitched in the past in the World Series. That man has a 5 ERA in the World
I mean, he
Series.
got not new. That was
And
in the postseason because he got roughed up by the.
no, Rob. That's not in the postseason. That's in the World Series in years past. Look at the overall ERA for him in the World Series is a 5 ERA.
That's true. I mean, you also remember too, like, and this Phillies team knows how to grind out at bats. We seen, a lot of times good teams that get to the bullpen early. That's kind of the MO what the Phillies have to do.
That's that's the Phillies' success throughout the entire postseason was the fact they were able to ground out at bats early, get to 3-2 counts, get walks, get some hits.
Especially
Um,
even when we're trailing too. I mean, good lord, we have some guys.
the
Even though
thing
we
is,
do,
when we're trailing, we don't quit. That's the thing in the playoffs. We didn't quit. We were down 4-0. In
I think
I think game 2, game 3.
it
I
was
think it
game
was.
two. No, we were up 4.
No, it was not game 2 because game
Oh
2 we
no,
lost.
it was
It was
no.
game
It was
3.
game 3.
It was game 3. We came back and won that game 10-6. And then game 4, we were down 3-2. We came back, won that game 4-2.
Well, take it. No, actually, no. We were down 2-1. Remember,
No, we were down 3-2. Because remember that the wild pitches, we were down 3-2. Remember the
no.
clincher?
We won 4-3 because on the 2-run shot by Harper.
Oh right, yeah, that's right. I thought it was
Probably
4-2.
the fact that he
No,
says
4-3. It
that's
didn't
like
make
today.
sense what I said. It didn't really make sense what I said.
But I
Okay.
knew where you were going with that.
It was 3-2. It was 3-2. We won 4-3 because we didn't have that ability to quit. We did not throw in the towel when we were down and out. That was the thing.
And the fact that Bryce Harper said, he had like the fact he was so surprised that he did that is like, really, are you really not that surprised? Because he's got so much power to the other way though. It's nuts.
It was because he didn't think he got all of that pitch. That was the thing. He didn't think he got it, but he got it. But the funniest moment of the postseason though was when Schwarber hit that 488-foot bomb, and Harper's reaction was just like
literally. That's like it's like we've never. I mean, we know Schwarber has the power to do that, but to that extent,
that man tore the cover off that baseball. You can't tell me
he sandlotted it, as you put it.
He sandlotted it. You can't tell me different. He did. You can't tell me different.
But yeah, I mean,
but yeah, and that was game 3, and then game 4 we came back from a 3-2 deficit, won at 4-3. I'm freaking out. I'm yelling so loud. I feel I sounded like a prepubescent kid going through puberty. But yeah, I was shaking
Like
and I was hot at the
it's
same
like,
time. I was so excited, but it was cool.
and it's funny
But
enough
yeah,
that still to this day, I still have Padres fans telling me like they're blaming Bob Melvin to not they didn't use Hader in that situation, but it's just like either way,
yeah, Jay, I got bad news for you.
yeah, they're
Boone got
keeping him.
re-signed.
Yeah,
Boone got re-signed.
they're retaining him for the next season. But I mean, that's besides the point. But we're looking at the series though, because we have Greg and John actually having us in 6. But I think this, like I said, this might go 6, 7 games at least.
Here's the thing that scares me. I feel like the Phillies have to win it in 6, because if it goes 7, we're screwed.
Yeah, we are screwed.
Because
But
we've never had a series go past 6 this year.
that is no, actually no, I don't think we have.
We've never had a series in this postseason go
I think
past
the most
6.
we ever won it is in 5.
Yeah, because
We won it in 5
the most that we've won it was
in 5
6.
games.
Or no, 5 games. Yeah,
Because we won a 5 against the Braves and 5 against the Padres.
and then we won, and then we swept the Cardinals. So we never made it past 6 or 7.
So yeah, but then again, knowing what how this team has been, I wouldn't be surprised.
We could go with 6 or 7. I'm just saying if we get the 7.
I think realistically it could be 5 or 6. I mean, 6 or 7 mean realistically, but if the Phillies do play well, who's to say we might win it in 5?
I don't think we're winning in 5. The Astros are way too scrappy to win it in 5. I could say our best case scenario is
probably
6.
6.
Probably
so, no,
6.
I think we also have 3. We have 3 games in Philly.
We have 3 games. Yeah, if we take all 3 games in Philly,
goddamn,
cool. But
not just
yeah,
cool,
I would have to say 6 because we're splitting. I know we're splitting. We're probably going to split.
It's kind of feel like we know what Rob Thompson is thinking. Like we play
We're
well
splitting.
in game 1. We
we're
shit the bed.
I don't know about that though. But we could. It could either be they win game 1, we win game 2, or we win game 1, they win game 2. I don't know. I don't know if Rob Thompson's going to purposely do that, but I know at best the best case scenario for us
is trying to win it in 6.
No, I'm not saying the whole series. I'm saying the first 2 games.
Oh yeah, first 2 games. I think best case scenario is probably split it.
Yeah, best case scenario is split
because
we know for a fact we're not winning both games. If we do, it'll be shocking.
That'll just be lucky.
I wouldn't say lucky. I would say shocking.
It would be shocking, and then because we had the best, the talents to do it, and Dante said it best. We had to play perfect baseball against the Astros.
We have to. So Rhys Hoskins, get your head out of your butt and play good first base.
But yeah, I mean, it's just really looking at this team.
We love you for what you did offensively in the postseason,
but your defense has to show up.
Your defense has to show up in this game. Nobody can make a mistake in this series. Nobody.
You can, and
you can't afford it against this Astros team. You can't afford to make.
You really cannot afford the any mistakes. Now let's say because we see and shit. I mean, our pitching is good enough too. I mean, because it really and ball caps and
let's get A-Rod as the GM.
Absolutely not.
No. A-Royd. Oh, let's.
I think it's probably for the Yankees.
If you guys get A-Rod as GM, expect every one of your players to juice.
Honestly, man, Yankees. It's crazy enough. Like, and Yankees. I mean, God, the fact that the Yankees have not made the postseason since 2012 and not won a World Series since 2009, and God. But then again,
we broke that drought before they broke that drought.
Welcome to the same
drought. The same.
And I can say this to the Yankees: welcome to our pain. That we used to feel.
Not really. Welcome to our pain. Our pain was playoff drought. They've always made the playoffs. They've never made it to the World Series since 2009.
Yeah, unfortunately, they won that in 5 games. God damn it! But I mean,
you want to know why? It's because of A-Rod juicing up. That was the problem.
But I'll say this too. During the every team postseason,
When did the last time Houston won the World Series?
That was 2017.
It was the season that they cheated, that they supposedly
Yeah.
cheated.
See, and that's the thing too. And we'll talk about that on Between the Lines very soon, because these are very interesting topics to really kind of break down for this.
Yeah, it was the season that they supposedly cheated.
Because
it came out that they cheated, but because after that, they were going against NL East teams after that, because I think they lost it CS the next year. I think, did they?
I think there was. I know the one LAC they lost in 2019 to the Washington Nationals, who a lot of people are giving.
But what happened in 2018? Did they lose the CS? Remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost the CS in 2018.
They lost it to Boston. That's right. I forgot they lost to
Boston. Oh yeah, because Boston went to the World Series and won it.
Remember, they still had. I mean, when Chris Sale was still healthy, they still had Steven Pierce back over there. Still got Christian Vasquez behind the plate. They still had a lot of the remaining guys. Surprisingly, it's like, but besides the fact, and history shows that look, I mean, you really think about it. Look at 2021. The Houston Astros struggled against Atlanta.
They struggled, and the year prior, they
2019.
2019, they had lost to the Nationals. Them against NL East teams, they struggled. In the World Series, so that's why, there's a slight excitement going into this.
But
series.
There's also nervousness to play into factor into that as well. Because like we said, if we do wind up losing the series, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm very proud of how this team really fought back.
Yeah, if they lose this series, I'm gonna try my best not to yell this series, because
but
I don't I'll just throw my hands up. Hopefully I don't yell and get into it heavily like I did the last few series, because getting this far, even if we lose, awesome job.
It's still an amazing season, one way or another way you look at it, because you really think about it. Because like we said, I mean, Dombrowski got, even though he may not have some work, I mean, not have a lot of work to do, but if he can add some better additions, who's to say? I mean, if we play well with under Rob Thompson, who's to say? If we say hypothetically, we could take this division with this team that we have. Who's just never? Because baseball.
Here's the thing: the way the postseason went and how half the season went. If Rob Thompson was there sooner and we fired Girardi, say early April, we would have won
the division.
We would have won, and probably would have won over 100 games.
Yeah, shockingly, that would be. Which we haven't done. We have not done 90.
That. We were close to 90 with.
We haven't done that in a while too.
We haven't done that in a while. The last time we went over 100 games was 2011.
Mm-hmm. And we all know how that went.
That went south pretty quickly, and then we went south pretty quickly. But here's what's amazing is that the fact that we're here.
It's like it's so surreal to the point where, like, the fact that we've seen guys have their moments. I mean, shit. Bryson, look at Bryson Stott, for example. The dude, look, you may know his batting average, and we talked about this. I think before.
I feel like the batting average was because he had that slow start, but he's a rookie, so that's a pass. I see him as a star still, because he has grown over the season. He's gotten better at hitting.
He's very clutch.
His fielding's really good. He's been a really good contributing piece for this run.
See, this is why a lot of time. I mean, even though, and we can talk about this too, like, not having homegrown talent at one point actually kind of killed us a little bit. I mean, I remember,
and early on when he went like 0 for 10, I thought we were we were fools, because we were thinking highly of this guy. Are we fools anymore? No, we're not fools.
No, and this kid has come up.
We've seen the potential in this kid, and he is proving his potential, and I am proud of Stott for that.
Absolutely, and the other thing too, like during this postseason, he has come up huge for them. I think he has like 4 doubles so far in this postseason. So he's pretty much got he's got 4 extra base hits so far this postseason.
He's come up huge.
He's got really good with runners in scoring position too. A lot of people, and yes, I get it. And I will say, and we can admit this too, it's one of our biggest weaknesses at one point. But this, and like I said, the postseason, you wipe everything clean. You had to start fresh. And that's what the
What's
Phillies
up,
kind of.
Flame? What's up?
What up?
But yeah,
It,
this team has really shown their potential, and Stott's shown his potential. The young guys are showing their potential. Alec, and here's the one player I would like to give tremendous praise on. Alec Bohm.
oh yeah, Alec Bohm though. I mean, what a
He
turnaround
took
season.
that 3-error game back in error, saying that he hated this place out of anger. He apologized. He owned up for it. Over the course of the season, he has gotten way better defensively.
Not
We
just
know
defensively, he's gotten better
we know what.
offensively.
Hold on, Rob. Hold on. I'm getting to that. We know what he can do offensively. He had that one bad year.
Oh yeah,
But his rookie year and now he has had good seasons.
it's been a huge. It's night
But
and day with him.
but it's not really night and day because players have a bad season here and there. We've known what this guy can do offensively. That's the thing.
And
It was his defense. It was his defense that was the question mark. That was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last 3 seasons, he was notoriously bad at third base. And we were thinking, why are we putting him at third base? Put him at shortstop the entire season last year, the year before that, and honestly, we nearly gave up on the guy this season. We were saying after that 3-hour game, trade him. He doesn't belong here. Trade him.
Absolutely.
We're sorry about that.
We look like complete fools because
we look like complete idiots because he made us look like complete idiots saying that.
But no, with this
and I'm proud that he made us idiots. I'm proud.
I mean, the fact that he set career highs, he's got the fact that he set career highs in different numbers and batting average, runs driven in, more at home. I mean, the home runs is also a career high as well. Yes, I mean,
but the kid's not. The thing. I'm not talking about the offense. Scratch the offense out.
I mean,
right? Scratch it out. Yes, what he did offensively, amazing. But he's known to do that. The defense.
Shit. If you're really...
This man has been clutch defensively throughout the entire season, throughout the entire playoffs. We wouldn't even be in this. We wouldn't even be in this
situation without his defense.
Without his defense. His defense was red hot in playoffs, and I'm proud of the guy for it.
I mean, shit. I mean, you really go back to the Cardinals series. He snagged 2 balls that had extra base hits written all over it. I was like,
yeah.
He just like, not today, guys. And the kid, I mean, it's just like
the guy dove for the guy got to the ball when it was coming in hot.
Oh yeah.
Right? And I think people were blaming Bohm for this play too. It was in the playoffs. I don't know what the ball hit or what it was.
Oh yeah, when it took a whole right. He just ate it at that point. It
took a right turn, but the man still got to the ball. Yeah, he wasn't going to make the play out to get out at first, but he stopped He stopped it from getting extra, like the guy getting extra bases.
And remember,
he stopped it from doing it. That was still good defense, and people were blame. Oh, he should have got the guy out. He wasn't going to. First of all, he's going to throw that the way the ball bounced. He wasn't going to get the guy out at first because he has to lay out for that ball to save it.
That's true. I mean, people got to realize too, like if you're not really know how to play the sport personally, and I can say this from experience too, like playing third base is not as easy as people would think it is. And I know there's going to be some players in the MLB that make it look easy, but it is not. Play the hot corner, shit. I mean, trust me, I learned that the hard way.
And later on in the playoffs, this is why I cut Hoskins some slack too, because either corner is hard. Playing either corner.
Technically, first base is people think. Well, first base is a lot easier than people people seem to think that first base is hard, but I can say from experience, it's not as hard as people think it is.
But here's the thing. It's different for people. Some positions are a lot easier than others for people. Putting let's say you put a shortstop at first. It's harder. And also the way that your guys throw and the way that the MLB throws, they throw a lot harder. So it's harder to catch a ball. And the way the ball gets off the bat, it's a lot harder too.
And true, but and trust me,
You're playing, dude. You're playing with amateur guys. That's
I
the
actually
thing.
well, true, but and you remember too, and even the league that I'm in, I've I have teammates who used to who play actual college ball, and I
But
can,
that's college ball.
but I can
It's
see that,
not the pros. It's not the MLB. It's a
but
lot harder. The ball comes out off the bat harder. So yeah, it's easier in your level. I'm talking about the MLB level. It's hard.
yeah, I mean it's crazy.
That's why I cut Hoskins a little bit of slack.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. Like some of these guys had a huge turnaround. Like you said, but boom, after that 3 hour game, it felt like he played spectacular Gold Glove defense, even though there's some better names out there above him. But you know,
I feel like after that 3 hour game, he was kind of cut off from that being in the running. Next
oh
year,
yeah,
he's going to play exponentially better. Next year defensively because
oh absolutely.
he really did work hard to fix that defense, to fix
Well,
that issue.
credit to Bobby Dickerson that we finally brought, but we should never let go in the first place.
He helped with that. And also credit to the fans for sticking by him. Credit to Alec Boehm for taking ownership and what he said, saying
Oh,
that he
absolutely,
apologized.
absolutely.
He promises to get better. He got better. We're in the World Series because of this guy. And
Mm,
for this team, like we're here because of the team,
yeah,
especially Alec Boehm.
it's a team effort.
It
You know what I
is,
mean?
and Alec Boehm stepped up to the plate this year.
Mm-hmm. And you really think about it too. I mean, shit. You go to make an argument for another guy, Nick Castellanos defensively.
Nick Castellanos. People were saying that he was bad offensively. The guy batted like 260. He wasn't terrible.
but
Oh,
coming
he
off that,
sucks. He sucks off. No, he doesn't. He had a 260 batting average the
and
entire year.
and this is where I see it was too. And there's two factors. One, he was getting adjusted to a new environment because remember, Cincinnati was fucking short all around. So that I mean, you can definitely tell that. I mean, you can make the argument that some of his numbers were inflated, but it's hard to really, and this also applies to Schwarber too. It's hard to get adjusted to a new team in your first year. We've seen it countless times. I
But
mean,
we've seen it late in this. We've seen that early skid that Schwarber had. He snapped out of it. The skid that Castellanos had, he snapped
and
out of it.
unfortunately, when he had that oblique injury, when he came back, it's hard to come back from that. I mean,
That's a
that's right. You're
what was it? What is it? Your oblique, like your stomach area or something
towards your ribs.
towards the ribs. Yeah, and usually that affects swings because it hurts.
And
So
remember,
we
and
kind
even
of understand. But he still batted 260. He was still good.
and shit. I mean, he has most some clutch base hits so far this postseason
He had a clutch hit in the NLDS, which
against.
caused us to go to the NLCS.
Yeah, like even though his power isn't where we want it to be, but the way that we see it's like let's say in my if I
Well,
would say pick
you also
Cosmos
got to think. You also got to think too. He's on the back half of his career,
and
so he's going to sacrifice power for hits,
and
which is fine.
which has really helped because remember even in Cincinnati when I looked at this tape in Cincinnati, yes he had power, but also he could also hit for average. A lot of people we don't hardly see that anymore nowadays. But
The guy batted like 280, so he could get hits too. The only
yeah, I
one
mean
that needs to stop just sacrificing average for power
it's
is
short.
is Schwarber. That's it.
But so
But
far in the recent stretch of games, he has done. I mean, he has hit for power, but
he's done his job. He's hit balls the other way.
I think I think in the championship series, I think so far in series, I think he hit over 400 in the series entirety. I was like,
Yeah.
Damn. But that's what I'm saying because it's like, not to mention too, if you looked at like game 5 against the Padres, walked 3 times. That's another thing. A lot of times that we have our hitters doing now. I think we have most hitters are have like an above 10% walk rate and a very low strikeout rate.
Yeah, we've always this postseason we were very patient the entire playoffs.
No,
Often.
absolutely.
Very patient. In the regular season, we're golfing pitches. We're
We're just chasing pitches out of the zone.
We're chasing pitches left and right. This time, it's like the game is slowing down for this team.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, and we've seen pitchers really make mistakes. I mean, perfect example again, Schwarber, really a 3-2 fastball right down the fucking middle. Really, that's one of the dumbest mistakes you can.
It was one of those pitches like you knew, like as soon as he left to him, that's gone. Boom, it was gone.
Yeah, you can definitely tell when he squares it up. Like you can definitely tell it. I mean, the fact, and especially with Harper too. And this is going back to Harper too. It's like
Harper had a monster postseason.
Who would have fucking
monster?
But it's like the fact that coming off that thumb injury, it was like one of those things. It's like where it's just like I was worried that it's like we might not see his MVP self at all. But
yeah,
but the fact that he's oh God, I mean against Robert Suarez, probably the biggest home run of his career. The fact he spits on a really good changeup by Robert Suarez. A lot of times people, and I would definitely swing at that. But the fact that he has and it also goes back to the fact that he's seen him more than one time in the series, which also is an advantage to the hitters. Once you see them more than once, like you can definitely can time it up. And let's be real, probably or as Scott Franzke call it, who was one of our radio guys, the bedlam at the bank. God damn, did that place almost explode. But
I'm telling you, when this game goes to Philly is about to explode.
Absolutely.
We're in the World Series. This is the first World Series in 2000 since 2009. Philly is about to explode.
It's just it's really crazy of how far this team has turned it around. And the fact that Rob Thompson let's be real, really deserved that contract extension. Actually, at that point, just keep him for the long term after his contract is up, which I really do.
You know what I find funny?
What's that?
We waited 11 years for this team to turn it around. We only expected maybe a slight turnaround to where we're in the playoffs. We turned it a whole full.
No, we took a whole friggin' 180.
Like, what is happening?
It really is. Not to mention too. I mean, the way and this also ties back to Thompson's philosophy. We're seeing a lot of more small ball tactics than from what we saw in the postseason from any other teams. Remember, the Yankees they live and die by the home run ball, and that's what cost them.
They do live and die by the home run ball.
And with the way in the Phillies case, we're about 9-2 in the postseason just because of small ball.
I think that's why I thought going into this series with the Astros, we have a better chance because the teams that they beat, they left and died by
the long ball.
The long ball. The Seattle Mariners left and died by the long ball. Who else did they play in DS?
The Yankees.
Oh wait. Or no. No. The Mariners left and died by the long ball in the DS. The Yankees, CS, lived and died by the long ball. We're not like that. So we'll probably have a better fight going into this. Not saying the Astros aren't going to win. They do have a strong possibility, like we do, to win this series. But we're not gonna just we're not gonna just give up game one and then
absolutely not
give up the series.
We might, if you put some good swings on it, we'll pop a couple home runs here and there, but most of the time we'll see, there are times it's like I said, we draw out walks. Shit, we do.
You've even seen Harper not hit as many home runs. There was like one time he hit a double.
Yeah, to the opposite way because they're shifting him to pull.
Yeah,
and that's another thing too. Some of our hitters have learning starting to know how to do is to hit the ball the other way. And that's a very good point. Remember, Girardi was a long ball approach.
That's why we lost so many games early on because we were trying to hack the ball so much instead of playing to the strengths of this team.
It's shown. It's just like there's a lot of things that we've seen.
This is what the Phillies needed to do. Screw analytics. Screw that.
do it old
Play your
school.
ball and play your ball. And they did that. They did that.
And it's just like, yes, I know we're the home. It's like, this a day and age in baseball. Yeah, it's the home run ball, but the way that and this is why I think Thompson and Showalter, these some of these old school guys have really done success because I mean they're mostly Thompson anyways. I mean, look, they do have scouting reports, but a lot of times
This is why Showalter made the playoffs. This is why we're in the World Series. This is why the Astros are in the World Series. Because look at Dusty Baker. He's an old-fashioned type of guy.
yeah, I mean, now it sucks. I mean, it's like because and for those who really don't remember, the last time the Phillies and Astros played in any postseason was back in the '80s when you still had guys like Nolan Ryan. I mean, for us, we still had Mike Schmidt, Bob Boone, Pete Rose. I mean,
this is a great question. Who would you hire as manager for the Yankees?
well, that's a very good question. Well, that we got to see who's out there because remember because Boone ain't
right now. You can't really tell.
It's because we don't know who's gonna take a managerial change. Who knows? So I mean, we'll wait and see about that. But kind of going further, like I said with the series, I'm excited, but like Tyler said, I am worried. There's going to be times we might fuck up. I mean, it's where like there's that part of me, and like Tyler said, there's that part of us where we might not play our best baseball, but for some reason, I mean, even though it hasn't come back.
For some reason, I'm feeling like we could win this series, but also feeling that we could lose at the same time. Like,
so I mean, it's a weird ass feeling.
Like I don't know how to feel about what if we win, I'll be over the moon, like happy. And what did you just send me?
And I didn't send you anything.
It just said Robert sent a post.
Or whatever. But and Jay said, I mean, yeah, Jay, that's a very good point. And go and talk about the Yankees a little bit. They got to break from that tradition. I'm sorry, but the Yankees approach, what they're doing is it's costed them. And Yuri got, it's already it pissed off.
The Yankees right now are a mess. They're a mess. No ifs, ands, or buts. They are a mess.
And the fact that, and we talk, well, like I said, we'll talk about it between the lines. I mean, kind of recapping the entire season, the regular season, because there's a lot of news or points we have to kind of break down. Because but that's besides the point. But looking at the series in its entirety, we have Nola and Verlander going for game 1. We might be seeing Framber Valdez going game 2, and the fact that, and I look, numbers.
I feel like we're gonna win against Verlander and we're gonna lose against Framber Valdez.
Because we beat. No, wait a minute. That was Lance McCullers. Because Lance McCullers is game 3, but we can beat McCullers.
We can beat McCullers, so I think we can go up 2-1 in the series.
But I think they might go Christian Javier for game 3.
I'm not sure. I have to look at their pitching lineup because they did release their pitching lineup.
But and it's just I don't know, man. I mean, we know how good the what am I thinking about? Oh, the Astros bullpen. Good Lord, I am having a brain. That's 2 brain farts today. God damn.
Honestly, 3.
Technically 3. So
technically 3. By technicality, there was 3. 2 streams.
Yeah. So we got Nola and Verlander for game 1. Wheeler. Wow. So Houston may not. Who is to be determined for the Houston Astros. But we do have Wheeler going for us in game 2. Game 3, I have a feeling that is Ranger Suarez, who has actually pitched really solid, surprisingly, in the postseason.
And then game 4 is going to be a bullpen game. I know that.
And we've actually
won those games.
Yeah, shockingly. Because remember, if you looked at it in the back, like I said, the regular season doesn't matter, but if you look back in the regular season, we suck with that.
Yeah. We were always losing like
But if I'm Thompson, though, I would say go with for me, my idea is to go to Syndergaard because there are times I cannot trust Bailey Falter. I mean, from what we saw,
I would go. I would go with.
I mean, just for rather be safe than sorry, because I mean Bailey Falter just for some reason does not have it. I mean,
which is
but
weird because he had it all season, and then in the postseason he just
it's just like there's certain people just don't really can't handle the pressure in the postseason. Well, we knew Syndergaard knows how to do it. This is I'm very shocked. This is Wheeler's first World Series. Who would have thought? That's shocking that Wheeler has never pitched in the postseason until he got to Philly.
and
That's
then he's in the
shocking to
World
me.
Series. Now he's in the World Series. Nola too, never
Yeah,
been
for the
to
first time in his
postseason.
career, for the love. Well, technically, yeah.
Now Nola never pitched in the playoffs. Now he's in the World Series. Craziness, bro.
This is second World Series for Schwarber.
Segura.
Now that'll be
Segura first World Series.
Hoskins, JT,
Bryce, which is shocking.
Damn.
Bryce's first World Series. The entire team except for Schwarber.
It'll be nice if him to get a second ring though, because I know I have a lot of some Chicago fans would love to see Schwarber get another ring.
Why
do I have a gut feeling? I don't know. For me, I have also got gut feeling. I wanted to go with Dust.
You said he didn't play. What?
Oh, they're talking about the Lakers and the Russell.
Oh, right.
When they got the ass beat by the Denver Nuggets, but that's besides.
Yeah, I'll let y'all have that.
You know what's crazy? Is it bad that I feel bad? I want to feel like I want to root for Dusty Baker to get a ring to end his. It's like I have a gut. I have it like I want the Phillies to win, but I have another side feeling because I mean Dusty Baker has been around for so.
I felt the same feeling with the Cardinals series. I'm like, it would be nice to see them go and win a World Series with Pujols and Yachty and Wainwright, but
the Phillies had other digits. Like nope,
Phillies had other. But then I was still happy, but I was still kind of bummed out at the same time.
It's sad.
That's probably what's going to happen to me. I'm probably going to be happy that the Phillies won the World Series, excited, yelling, screaming, "Yeah, we won the World Series!"
For the first time since 2008, though, that'll be a third in franchise history. If you really think about it, that's fucking nuts.
Third and eight appearances. But also, I would also be kind of bummed out when it sets in, like Dusty Baker still hasn't won a World Series.
Yeah, that would
still bum me out because he's such a great manager.
And the fact that he's been around for the game for so long and he still has not won over. It's a shame though, man. He's managed over 4,000 games, won over 2,000 of them, and still not won a ring. That's a travesty.
It sucks.
It's like I had to feel bad for. Oh, great! It's just like this. It's like for those who have not followed the postseason at times, like especially the Cardinal series, because from what we remember, we had Waino, Pujols, and Yachty ended our season, but we did it. And at times, like it was poetic.
It was like you may have ended our season, but we ended your career. Ha ha ha.
But you looked at it realistically. You got two Hall of Famers at the end of the day. Let's be real.
Yeah, and I was still kind of sad. I was still kind of sad though. I'm like, we just ended their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god,
it really is. It's just
they were my childhood, and we ended it. What?
But then again, poetic justice will get. I mean, karma.
You ended our run, but we ended your career.
Because remember too, they ended our run on our own on our turf, so we pretty much repaid the favor. I would say
at their turf, yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It's like it's weird. This postseason at times we have conflicting feelings because we like the Phillies, but we've seen guys that
we're seeing guys that we respect. We respect Dusty Baker.
And Greg, the last time we won the World Series was back in 2008 when we had Utley, Rollins, Howard, Chooch.
Yep.
We had Hamels, Stanton, Myers.
I was 10.
We had Madsen, Brad Lidge. No, 2008. Last time.
No, that was not the 90s. The 90s, we had John Kruk and those guys.
Yeah, Mitch Williams, and good Lord, thank God none of us. I was born in 97, so I mean,
I was born in 98, so that 98 we had an.
But I also remember, our core, made their debuts early. Like Howard made his debut, Utley's debut. I will never forget at Veterans Stadium. Like but yeah, it's just
first hit bomb.
And good old the good old Harry Callis, man. God rest that man's soul. That dude was just the dude's
That
the
dude's
dude.
call was a godsend when he came out.
I mean, Callis. I mean, look. I mean, there's some fan bases that have that voice. We know that the Dodgers have the voice of the late Vin Scully, which sucks because goddamn. I mean, like in the
Yeah,
baseball,
that pained me. That
that
pained me.
shocked the
That
baseball
sucked.
world. Because, like I said,
You guys have a few players on this Phillies who already have won the World Series on the active roster and coaches. We've only had one
that's
on the
Schwarber.
roster. That's Schwarber. The
Schwarber
rest
won
of
in
them
20.
we haven't. Harper
Well,
shockingly
actually, no.
never.
I
Kevin
think
Long
Kevin.
has but no, I'm talking about the players, not the
Oh,
coaches.
players, no. Like,
Players, the
outside of
players. It was
Schwarber,
the players outside of Schwarber don't have one. They've never been to one,
no.
or played or won one.
Or at this point being in their careers. I mean, look at JT. Spent years down in
JT was
Miami.
stuck. JT was stuck on the Marlins. The Marlins weren't going anywhere, so they got rid of him.
And
Segura was stuck on the lowly
Mariners.
They weren't going anywhere, so they got rid of him. Didi, did Didi win one?
He has,
but Didi's not even on the team anymore. So,
but I think Didi does have one in his back pocket, but I'm not entirely too
sure. 09, I think he had.
Oh, fucking Didi! God damn it! But it's
Didi screwed us twice. Dang it!
But I mean, knowing that we haven't done Browski, he made the right decision though.
He let him walk. He let him go.
Say you're not wrong, BLG.
You know what I've seen, which confuses me.
What's that?
I've seen a lot of love for
Oh, I'm sorry.
Didi.
No, Didi does not have a World Series ring.
Oh no, he doesn't. Oh, he was there for the 2010s of
Actually, no, he made his debut in 2012 with the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh wait, he got traded to the okay. Oh yeah, I remember that.
He got traded to the Yankees in 2015.
Oh yeah, I remember that. But yeah, what I've seen was a lot of love for Didi. Don't they realize Didi sucked for us?
Yeah, well, you got to think
it was terrible.
It was both offensively and defensively, and that's the reason why I think Dombrowski realized too that Stott was the guy to go forward long term.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is fans were like, "Oh, we miss Didi. Didi was such a no, he wasn't." Now I could see if you guys said y'all miss McCutchen because McCutchen was good for us.
McCutchen is absolutely missed in Philly.
He was solid for us, and we do miss him. I miss that guy. That guy was such a great presence. I
wonder what this team would look like if we kept McCutchen and had Thompson earlier. I mean, that would have been a lot different.
I feel like we still would have struggled because we would have still had Didi,
right?
And we also had Kingery, who sucked,
and still sucks. At that point, but it's just.
But if we didn't get Schwarber, and we had the same team we did now, and we have McCutchen on that left side, we probably would have been a good team.
What I'm saying is, like,
would we have gotten this far? No,
probably not.
We probably would have still made the playoffs though.
But it's just, I feel like, I don't know. McCutchen's just one of those players that's like, when he left Phillies, it's like, God, and it's like, really? Like, not Uncle Larry. God damn, with the rock, paper, scissors. That's what I missed too, is some rock, paper, scissors.
The rock, paper, scissors game with the third baseman every time he hit the ball.
With Dusty Wathan.
Yeah, he was already playing. He was always playing.
Looking at it overall, though, like
and every time it makes me laugh because every time Dusty Wathan would lose and he would just throw his hands up like, "Oh, I lost."
I mean, see, this is why Dusty Wathan too is a really. I mean, we have it's crazy enough to like look if you looked at over time. Right, David Robson also has a ring. I forgot about that.
He was. Oh yeah, wasn't he with
Yankees.
the 2016? Oh wait, no, he wasn't with the Yankees. He was with the Yankees, but they didn't win a World Series with that. No, David Robertson. I forgot he was with the 2016 Cubs with Schwarber. He was a part of their bullpen.
Actually, he has a championship ring from 09.
09.
He was one of the guys that set up. It's ironic that we have him in Phillies pinstripes.
Do you know that's funny? That's hilarious.
It is very ironic. Because remember, he was a setup
It's
guy.
so ironic that I'm cracking up. I thought he was with the 2016 Cubs. No, he was with the Cubs before us. He came back. That's right.
No, actually, he was with the White Sox from 2015 to 2017.
Yeah, and then he went to us, and then he kind of.
Nope, that was because he had 2 stints with the Yankees from 08 to 14, which we did beat him in 08 though. No, wait a minute. No, we beat Tampa Bay. That's right.
We beat Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay beat the Yankees in 08.
He beat us. He beat us in 09. Now he's playing for us in the World Series. What?
Yeah, so he spent 08 to 14 first time with the Yankees, then goes to the White Sox in 2015, spends 2015 to 17.
Rob, do you realize what happened? The Yankees got bounced out of the ALCS this year. We got David Robinson. You know what that means?
Robinson going to have an opportunity to get a second ring.
No. Do you know what that means? We got the last laugh. And if we win the World Series, that's even more hilarious.
Much more sweeter for David Robertson. And for those Chicago Cubs fans, I mean,
revenge is so sweet, and we're licking our fingers at the sweetness.
It really is. And you really think about it too, like, and Chicago fans and the Cubs fans still love Schwarber to this day. You know, it's like sometimes I've seen a couple say their teams.
Yankees dub. Are you kidding me? Yankees are bounced out of the
They for some reason they stink at the playoffs.
It's terrible, man. Just because you hate Philly, come on, Gabriel Arcu.
Well, he's a Texas Rangers fan, so that's why.
What did your Texas Rangers do this year? Nothing.
The only time
Who's in the World Series this year? We are.
But I mean, you really think about it too. After 20, and this also ties back to the Texas Rangers. After 2011, they kind of imploded the way that we did. And they've
never gotten out of it. We did. So.
Yeah. And it's crazy, because the fact that you had a World Series in your grasp against the Cardinals, unfortunately, you had to deal with Waino, Yachty, and Pujols, which is very unfortunate. But see, and this is why a lot of times too that with the DH in the National League is very beneficial. Because remember, years ago, like guy like Nelson Cruz would never play the outfield in the mirror, especially in the National League now. Nelson Cruz is fine as a DH because we had that luxury. Because let's be real, because I'm really kind of tired of pitchers hurting or getting hurt swinging the bat, and plus, not to mention that I hate having easy outs at the bottom of the order. Let's be real. I mean, I think both what MLB and the Players Association agreed on. But I mean, looking at it overall to end it off here, look, win or lose, I'm so proud of this team. Like no matter what.
Oh yeah, for real. Yeah. I have to completely agree with you there.
It took a long time, but finally realized, that Thompson can be the guy long term. I mean, yes, we have him for the next 2 years, but I mean, I do feel like with Harper, Stott, Bohm, Hoskins, if he's at. But I mean, it's just looking at what this team has done since then. It's and that's a very good
amazing point. To us. It's amazing to us.
Not just that too. And Jay brought up a good point. It's our house money that we're playing with. We got a house. And when's the last time everybody has done? It's been a while since anybody has done that in the postseason. I mean, other than what? It's been a while though. Like I said, win or lose, I can't be disappointed. Would I be bummed if they didn't win the World Series? Probably, absolutely. But look, I will say this too: if we do lose, the better team wins. Plain and simple.
All right, one more question to answer. Who do you think is the real home run king?
I really don't want to, because we know that baseball has tainted records or put the asterisks on it. But I mean, I just feel like if you're looked at it realistically, I mean, I still would never count Barry Bonds 73 as legitimate. Same with Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. Those guys are never legitimate, and for good reason. But for me, I think the true home run king, for me, in my eyes, the way that we've seen it, is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge did it. I mean, it's like, yeah, Jerry, which is crazy.
You said it. You said it best. We weren't supposed to be here.
But
we weren't supposed to be in this game. We weren't supposed to be in this series. But yeah, here we are. We're here. And it kind of, like I said before on our other shows kind of reminds me of the Philadelphia Eagles 2017.
Yeah,
We weren't even supposed to win that Super
super.
Bowl.
But I mean,
We ended up winning it.
and then unfortunately, years later, it came and bit us in the ass. But who
But we
knows?
still won it. We still won it, and we
I
weren't
mean,
supposed to
yeah,
win it.
for the first time in franchise history, so we don't have to freaking hear other fan base like, yeah, good
No
lord. But
rings, no rings, ha ha, no rings. Not to hear
and
that
that's
anymore.
absolutely, absolutely, Jerry, because dude, Philly would go ballistic if we finally at the same time
Oh,
because
oh, I saw, I saw something. I saw something.
and like I said, and Jay, I agree. Like I said, with guys like say Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark Ware,
And that's
without
the
the
thing. Aaron Judge has been able to do what he did this year without juicing.
and plus he did it in in more ways than one, not just with
And if
power.
you want to know how I know he wasn't juicing? Look at
You
how
know,
he bats. When he bats, he uses his foot for power, his back foot for
well,
power. A
not
lot of
just
these
that,
guys were just a lot of these guys were just standing there
yeah,
hitting.
just
You knew they were juicing. But
well,
with
we did.
Judge, oh, you know what's
Oh,
funny about that, Rob? Do you know what's funny about
I
that, Rob?
saw that. Hmm.
No, no, I'm gonna talk about this. You know what they did? Literally an adult entertainment company,
They
F1
brought,
company. They gave the city of Philadelphia lube to grease
yeah,
up the poles.
like
I
literally like
started
5.5 gallon
cracking
drums
up
of it.
like that. I started cracking up. I'm like, what?
I mean, actual grease it wouldn't.
Actual Crisco grease did not work. So they're
Mhm.
doing. Did the walkthrough already happen or not yet for Phillies today? Yeah, because Brendan Marsh posted a TikTok about him walking into the stadium. So they did the
Yeah,
walkthrough today.
it's crazy the fact that guys, just think about it. Braden Marsh could have his first ring. So can Harper. I mean, we only have two guys that might have going to have their second ring, and that's
The
Robertson
one
and Sharper
the one guy I'm really pulling for to get this ring is Harper. Harper has been trying for over 10 years with
to get
two
one.
teams to get a ring, and he's never been able to do it. This is his chance.
This is an absolute opportunity.
Absolute opportunity. I
And
know he's going
shit,
to relish in it. I know he's going to play so much. He's going to play hard, and he's going to
it just wait.
play his
It's
best.
just and think about it too when he gets fully healthy with that arm. Look out from right field. Good lord. Well, and
Man.
we talked about the who's scary on the Astros, and that's Bregman
What?
Gurriel.
Yeah, Bregman, Gurriel, and who else did I say?
I mean, you also have Alvarez, but
Alvarez.
Alvarez has been hot and cold for the
But
Astros.
once he gets hot, he can end the game.
Uh-huh.
Look what he did with the Mariners. He ended the game with one swing. He can end the game with one swing. That's what scares me.
Absolutely. But other than that, though, I mean, it's just like for the last thing, it's just like realistically, realistically, I say Phillies in 6, but if it does go 7, I'm going to have to go Houston in 7. So it depends on how games 1 and 2 go. Because remember, you have to set the baseline for games 1 and 2 and see because we saw how it determines the rest of the series statistically, anyways. But with that, it's just it's going to be interesting. So Friday night, 8 o'clock, Fox game 1, Nola and Verlander. So let's get it.
Game
So
one of the World Series is nearly 24 hours on
I'll
the
lose my
dot away.
goddamn mind if that was the case.
Honestly,
Philadelphia would
honestly,
not hold that
I
excitement.
would I would lose my mind, but I would pray for Philadelphia or hope for Philadelphia not to burn down. Because
I will be live for game 4 though with my buddy Phil Hatton, who is in the chat. What is good? What is good? And and that absolutely, that's what we talked about. We have to
yes,
split.
we at the very least we have to split this series if we want to have a chance at winning winning the World Series. We have to split. If we
Yeah,
go
Philly
down
have time.
2-0, then
We
we
keep
could get
saying that to
swept.
ourselves.
Listen, I've said that I've
But
said this countless times, Philly. Pinch me, I'm dreaming. Pinch me, I'm
and
dreaming.
you really think about it, we're probably one of the hardest teams to ever sweep. Because I mean, if you can sweep the Yankees, but I mean, going against us, we're scrappy as well. I mean, I'll get like I said, we'll
But
get
we've
the
known, but we've known throughout the entire playoffs that the Yankees were frauds. We've known that.
oh yeah.
Even Dante said it. Bring the Yankees because I know they're
Oh
frauds.
yeah, and he got it, and he got a switch, and even
Thanks,
more
bro.
after that. But other than that, though, that's going to do it for another episode of the Phillies Talk Podcast, episode 15. Like I said, appreciate everybody that's coming through the chat. But yeah, later at 8:15 Eastern time, I will be live on the channel and the Hardcore Sports Network for Thursday Night Football between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Tyler, don't say anything. Thank God I said Ravens right because y'all kind of busted my chops with that. So that's besides the
And
point.
also, Rob, I think we underestimated or we kind of overestimated the Bengals because I just got word like an hour, like not even a few minutes after we ended our stream about the rankings. We kind of have to lower our rankings about the Bengals.
Oh damn.
Jamar Chase is out for 6 or 7 weeks.
Oh god damn it. Well, there goes my fantasy points. Fuck.
Jamar Chase is out for 6 to 7 weeks. He's got an injury. He's hurt.
That's very unfortunate. Well, there goes my fantasy. Well, there goes most of my fantasy points, but that's besides the point.
See, Philly halftime. I kind of agree with that, but we'll win Friday but lose Saturday. Yeah, that's how the formula was for, the worst case scenario for us throughout the entire playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
We win the first game, we lose the second game. That's what I feel is going to happen here. We win the first game, lose the second one.
And
so I agree with that.
We have three home games.
Yeah. Thank you, Philly halftime. Hit the like button, hit the sub button.
Absolutely. But well, that's gonna, like I said, that's gonna do it for the Phillies Talk Podcast, episode 15. But yeah, I mean, like I said, overall, I'm very proud of this team, win or lose.
Yeah, I am so proud of this team. I have nothing bad to say about how this season went. How this team is played throughout the entire postseason. If we fall short, so what? We can build off of that next year. Win the World Series next year. If we win this series, I'll be over the moon happy still. And we still do have some work to do to maintain that.
Oh, here's a good question. Who's got the most pressure? I would say both teams, I would say. Because I
wouldn't say both teams. I would say the most pressure would be the Phillies because literally the entire nation is on our side. Because they don't like the Astros. The entire nation is rooting for us. So
except for the Midwest. Fucking bastards.
The West?
The Midwest, Texas, Utah.
Wait a minute. That's the South. That's the South. That's the Southwest.
Or Southwest, whatever. Or
South, Midwest, whatever. It's I mean, it's the middle of the country, but it's like Southwest.
I see Kansas. God, really? Kansas out of all people?
Kansas don't even have a baseball team. I don't even know why they're even having to put 2 cents.
Well, if you talk about Kansas City, that's more Missouri, anyways.
Oh yeah, Kansas City, yeah. But your team ain't even playoffs. Your team hasn't done nothing since 2015. So I wouldn't.
The fact that they're it's crazy. The fact that most of the United States is supporting us. Well, there's a small percent of that Midwest are going for the Astros.
And I have to, and I totally agree with this, Philly halftime. You can't be mad. You cannot be mad at this team.
Yeah, Flame. Unfortunately,
yeah, he's out for real. He's out.
God damn it! I gotta make more moves in fantasy football, but that's beside.
I mean, yeah, you can make a case that they have the pressure to win it because they were cheating. Can they win it without cheating? I can see the pressure there. But the majority of the pressure is in Philly because literally we are not the underdogs for once going into this series. We're usually the underdogs. We're not. We're the favorites to win it.
Yeah, which is shocking.
It's shocking because we're never the favorites for anything.
No, we're always had odds against us, and that's But other than that,
you guys play nice. You guys play nice.
Jay and Flame easy. But yeah, but other than that,
you guys play nice. You guys play nice. All right, this is just a sports debate. You guys play nice.
But yes, with that out of the way, though, we're gonna end it here. But yeah, I mean, so far another good episode of the Phillies Top Podcast. Because trust, you're gonna see more of these in the off season. You're gonna see some MLB all season coverage at the same time. But other than that, though, with that being said, this is Robert and Tyler from the Philly Sports Top Podcast and brand new members of the Hardcore Sports Network. We'll see you guys on the next episode of the Phillies Top Podcast.
Peace.